Alright, boys and girls, for your next writing lesson, we're going to be making sure we're using that past perfect tense in our writing. Okay? So, first thing we're going to do is you're going to edit your story for the correct form, but we need to go over what past perfect tense means. Okay? So the past perfect tense, you use that when you're telling about something that happened before another action in the past. Okay? So, for example, I had taken the dog out before Dad asked me to. So it's past tense, you use that word had. Okay, so we're using had before the verb and before you did something else. So it is used, once again, to tell about something that happened before another action in the past. Okay, so I had taken the dog out before Dad asked me to. All right, so we're going to look at this right here. Where would had be? So we got to first find our verbs because normally it's going to go in front of a verb. So for the first sentence, look at the first sentence. Cookie passed away last summer and Zane still missed her every day. So something has happened in the past. So we would write had before past. Cookie had passed away last summer and Zane still missed her every day. All right. Now let's look at the second sentence. Zane had managed to spill only half the milk as he came back down the steps. So my question is, do we need that had in front of managed? Is it talking about something that happened before another thing happened? I don't think so, because it says managed to spill only half a gallon as he came back down the steps. So they're happening the same time, so you would not need a had. So you would just get rid of the had here and you have to put it in front of this one. Because Cookie passed away last summer happened before and Zane, missed her every day. She passed away and then Zane missed her. Okay? So had would go here, but not here. All right, boys and girls? So what you're going to do is make sure in your realistic fictions that if you have something like this where this happened and then this happened, then that first verb should have a had in front of it. Okay? So to get some extra practice at this, you are going to, in your grammar packet, you have this right here. Okay, and normally had is going to be that first verb. It's going to be in front of that first verb. So this kind of reminds you to use the past perfect tense to tell about something that happened before another action in the past. So the past perfect tense is by using had with what they call the past participle, the main verb. So participle just means like the form. This verb is in past tense. Okay, it has the ed on the end, so it's in past tense. And then, so they're telling you is to add had before that verb that's in past tense. Okay, so Noah had finished his homework before he called his friend. I had looked for my keys for 20 minutes when Tana found them. So what happened first? He was looking for his keys first, and then Tana found them. Noah was finishing his homework first before he called his friend. So you're going to have had with the first thing, with the verb, the first thing that happened in past tense. Okay? And this is where you start thinking about your commas too. So you use commas to show a natural pause in your dialogue. So make sure you're doing that in your actual realistic fiction dialogues. Where do I need to pause when I go and read? Or if someone in your class is reading it, where do they need to pause so they know, hey, I need to stop? So Commas are also used for what we call conjunctions, where you're joining two different clauses together, so independent clauses. So two things that could stand alone by themselves, when you bring them together, like you're adding an and or an or, and you would need to use a comma. So for example, yes, there's that pause. I suppose you're right, admitted Nina. She shrugged her shoulders. That could stand alone by itself. It could be a sentence. I could put a period and it'd be okay. But they didn't in this case. And, so I have to have a comma, and Tim grinned with satisfaction. Tim grinned with satisfaction could be by itself as well. So when you're taking two sentences and you're putting them together, two complete sentences together, and you're using and or a conjunction, and, or, so, anything like that, you should have a comma in front of that conjunction. All right? So that's what this is showing you. Okay? So what you're going to work on, and if you don't have time today at the end of writing, you can work on this on Monday. Okay? So it says, write the past perfect tense of the verb that's in parentheses to complete each sentence. So, talked, you would first make it to an ed, talked. They had talked, so make sure you have the had. They had talked for over an hour when Megan arrived. All right? So you should have a had in front of each one of these. And whatever the past form of this verb is. Okay? All right. So that's what you're working on. And then the second half of this is commas. So underlining any words that should be followed by a comma. Circle any commas that are incorrect and should be deleted. So you're looking for commas that need to be added, and you're looking for commas that, hey, that doesn't need to really be there. Okay? All right, so like the rain I was happy to see had finally stopped. Okay, would there be a comma in there? Do I have a natural pause when I read it? The rain I was happy to see, okay, had finally stopped. That's a hard one. So see if you can figure that out. And I'll be back Monday to check your answers and everything. But that's a hard one. It necessarily doesn't have a conjunction that you can actually see. So see if you can see where the comma should be in that one. Okay? Because that one does not have a just plain conjunction in there. But when you naturally read it out loud, you can hear a pause. So where that pause is, that's where your comma is going to go. All right, and remember, you're also looking for commas that are in the wrong spot. So some of these commas may not be in the right spot. So you need to circle them. Okay, that should be out of there and deleted. All right, so you should have this too in your grammar packet. This was on the front of it when you're developing characters' voices. So I know some of you have already started working on this stuff. So make sure you're going back, and even if you're done with your packet, you think you're just so already done, make sure you did it right. So developing the characters' voices was yesterday's lesson. Make sure you're putting this into your realistic fiction as well. Okay? Adding those interjections to make it fun to read, to showing me when it's serious or exciting. Okay? So, look, there's actually AJ's name in there. I'm sure he already noticed. All right. So that's what we're working on. So you should be coming to the end of working on this today or in Monday. We should be coming to the end of working on our grammar sheets, because I know you started on some of them. All right. Okay, boys and girls. So continue to work on your writing, and Monday I will be going over with you, how we're going to publish our writing. Okay, so right now you're just typing into Google Doc and making any changes that you need to. So today's lesson was that past perfect tense, making sure we're adding those in where we need to, and making sure you have your dialogue straight, making sure your personalities are coming through your characters. okay? And make sure you have your interjections, all these things, make sure you have in your drafts as you're typing them. Make changes as you're typing if you need to, or go back and make changes. All right, boys and girls, well, have a great weekend, and I will see you Monday.